Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to Allotment of the Dead. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update on the whole sand battery and potentially all the issues that I had with that. I don't think it was probably going to do me any favours with that one candle. So I've got some other ideas that I'm going to try and put in place. Right, let me just show you. Hopefully the light will last out with this, but as people have said, one solitary candle in here was not going to do me any good. What the hell's that? Oh, I've got snails moving in. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Snails and sand. I didn't think they liked sand. Anyway, somebody asked me how I was going to get the candle out, and yeah, I had to dig it out. And so I'm left with this nice bucket of sand now. The copper, which it did heat up, but again, one candle, it's dried the sand out, but not much else. So what I've decided to do is make myself a infrared heater stroke sand battery. So it's going to use the same idea with the sand battery, but it's going to be a kind of an infrared heater in that bucket with a nice what's this called? I suppose it's going to be a shield stroke what do they call it? I can't remember. Reflector, that's the word. So it's going to reflect the heat out forwards, and again it's going to use just a small number of different things to actually make it happen, and most of them are things that you can buy as, you know, I guess tins of melons and things like that. Tins of this was actually mango puree, a couple of bean tins, and some netting, some wire mesh, kind of wire mesh you use to block ducks and things in the house to stop rats and mice and things like that coming in. Right, let me set this up and I can show you kind of what I'm doing. Right. Okay, so I'm going to make a infrared heater, and I'm going to use nice metal bucket as we did before, and a variety of different other things to make this happen. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, bury this sheet of stainless steel. Got it off Tinternet, Amazon special. I think it was from a company called the Aluminium Store. I've got it so it actually fits in the bucket now, so I probably didn't want to do that quite just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to salvage some of the, oh gosh, that's heavy. Some of the, it's so heavy that it's overbalancing it. Right, I'm going to have some trouble here. This Tamarillo, I uncovered it a couple of days ago, and it's absolutely rubbish. I don't think it's survived that cold, so we'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Right, so I'm going to take this sand here, which is going to be quite dry now because this is the stuff that was on the old sand battery, and even though it didn't give out a massive amount of heat, it did actually dry the sand out. So this is quite dry sand now. So again, I want to try and get that to the bottom of the bucket again. Do what we did before. I think this can probably come out. I'm getting a right mess everywhere at the minute. And you can see the black where the candle hit that one. Let's put that one on the floor there for now. So we'll put a bit more in the bucket here. Or maybe I'll just use this bucket. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm making a right old mess. So we want a nice layer at the bottom, because I'm going to do this one slightly different. Right, so let's swap those over. So that's the bucket that I'm filling from. Let me just put that in there. There we go. Right, so this time I'm going to have this in here, and I think it probably needs to be a bit higher, but I'm also going to have this at the bottom as well. So I'm going to bury that in there, and then it's going to come up out of the bucket. Okay, right, where's my green thing? There it is. I think this is going to be Jason and DIY, two things that don't really work most of the time. Right, we'll keep filling that up. I think I could probably put this to some clown music or something like that. There is a means to my madness in doing this, but we'll see how that goes. I am going to make another sand battery using homemade candles and see if that actually makes a difference. So this is the copper mesh that we used before, and that's fine. It didn't make any real difference, I think. Oh, it might have dried this out a little bit quicker. Okay. So this takes me back to my school days playing with sand. Sand and fire and science, a great thing. Right. Okay. A little bit more. Right, so what we need to do now is not stop that falling over. Oh gosh, I'm getting a right old mess. Right, let's put my leg over that side. So this is the heat shield, so that's going to go there, and then we'll centre that a bit more again. Right, we'll continue to fill this up with sand. So you want sand on the inside and on the out. And again. So it's kind of filled up the inside. Okay. What we need to do now is just fill up the outside. Again, this will be partly for stability and partly because this will help warm up the sand in this bucket. So we'll push it down nice. Oh. I think you guys are waiting for this to fall off the table, aren't you? I think so am I. Can't believe. Same size bucket, so it should have the same amount of sand. Okay. Right, so that is one bucket of sand. With the reflector and the copper bits in it. Right, so what we'll do is we'll put that down onto the floor. Oh, crikey, that's heavy. Right, and then we'll start with the next bit that can go in there. Right, so the next bit is using some tin cans and some various other little bits. Let me see if I can get some more light. Hang on. Oh. Okay, so we have two cans and we have another third can kicking around somewhere and some mesh. Right, so what we're going to do is, so we use a can, so make sure it's a nice clean can, take the lid off it. Has to be a big can and a little can, and the little can has to fit inside the big can. The other thing you have to do is drill a hole in the top of this one, and that's basically to pour in some alcohol. I think this is going to be an alcohol burner, so you need to kind of, I think I need a different funnel, so I won't be lighting this today, but I'll be making it. So we need to get the funnel into here once it's actually in there. So okay, well, what we'll do is we'll put this together and we'll show you what's happening. So what we've done is we've drilled some holes in the bottom of this can. So it's the open end and the holes are in the bottom, and we've got a nice little hole in the top, which is our filling hole. I do need to probably get a smaller funnel to actually be able to fit in there. The other thing we're going to need for this is a wick. So to actually draw up the alcohol, and one of the things you can use is this carbon felt. Carbon felt, you can heat it to probably 2000 degrees centigrade, something like that, and it generally won't burn. You might give off a couple of bits of smoke in here and there to start with, but it won't in effect set light. So this is an ideal substance or fabric to actually use for our wick. So that what we need to do is cut a couple of lengths off, and these lengths have to be about the same size as the tin, because what we want to do is we want to wrap the felt around the tin, and then you want a couple of these, kind of double thickness really, again around the tin, and then this whole thing needs to fit inside this one here. Okay, and then that is your basic burner. So you fill it full of alcohol in the middle. The wicking action will draw up the alcohol to the rim here, and hopefully it should set alight and stay burning for a few hours. What we want in it to do is stay burning for around 4 or 5 hours or so, which will be enough to hopefully heat the sand up in the sand battery and keep that going. The other thing we need to do to make this an infrared burner is to use some mesh. So this is the mesh you use for, like I say, keeping out rats, mice, that sort of thing from your house. you put it over venting and stuff like that, just to prevent, I don't know, I suppose spiders as well in some respects. Some of the bigger spiders won't be able to get through that. But again, you make it into a nice tube, and then there's another can on the top here. And again, this can has got holes all around the top, which would actually be the base. So this is actually the base of it. So the holes all around here, so that when you actually put it together, it would stand like that. So this is this mesh. When this is burning, this mesh will heat up. Any gases and things that are made, and there is always going to be combustion gases made from this. It's quite a clean burn if you use alcohol, but the combustion gases, you don't want them to build up to the point where this whole thing explodes, which is why you've put the holes in the top to let any gases and things escape. But when it's heating up, this will be bright red, iridescent heat, and hopefully it should give out plenty of heat up the metal and everything we've got here, heat the sand up, which is in there as well, and that will keep then that heat within the sand, which that will give out the heat at night over that cold period. But again, this is going to be a new thing for me. I've not really tried this before. I'm hoping I won't set fire to the polytunnel. I'm hoping I won't basically destroy everything I've created here, but we should be fine. Right, so let's put this contraption inside there. So before we light anything, it'll have to be, in effect, oh crikey, that's proper heavy. So that is kind of the contraption. I probably want to bury this a little bit in the sand as well, just so that it's stable. And then the nice thing on the top here. Okay. And then on top of this, absolutely wonderful blue peter job that I've made. We'll put a terracotta tray, which will fit on the top here, and then the terracotta tray will heat up as well, and we will end up with a infrared heater. So that's kind of where we are with it. I'm hoping it will work. It's probably going to be a disaster, Naomi. I'm going to put this onto the paving slab, and I'm going to face it in this direction and hope that it doesn't melt everything. Hopefully it won't. It shouldn't do. It should be fine. And then we'll leave this overnight to see what difference it makes overnight to the temperature in the polytunnel. I know it's going to be 1 degree tonight, but I'm not going to light this tonight. I want to, I guess, light it with a little bit of attendance and make sure that it's actually not going to cause any harm to anything that we've got around here. And hopefully it won't. I'm going to move everything away from it just in case. And I'm probably only going to half fill the actual burner with the alcohol as well. So just to make sure that it's going to be a limited burn for a limited amount of time, and hopefully we'll prove the concept. And if it works, then hopefully I'll be able to use it a little bit better, but we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Let me have a look. Okay, so it looks like an absolute monstrosity, but I think it'll work. So I'm going to lift this down onto the thing here. Okay. Let's put my table away. Oh crikey, I can't even put a table away. I'm getting crazy now. Right. So that's kind of where we are with things now. Oh gosh, keep whacking my head on things. So that's basically what I've done tonight. I've made it. I've got some extra metal and things kicking around, so I can make another one, and hopefully my issues with heat should be solved. But again, we'll have a look. We'll try and see if this makes a difference. Hopefully it will. Fingers crossed it will. And then we'll be able to bring things down a bit quicker. But again, it's probably around what we're at now at the moment, 7 degrees in here, and it's getting colder by the minute. So at the moment, as I say, I'm not going to light this tonight. I don't really have the time to do it tonight and do it safely. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Yeah. Join me tomorrow. Hopefully I will have something that works. All the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.